I arrived at the restaurant 5 minutes early. Not because I was eager, because I wanted the first advantage. The first look. The first mistake. The place was dim. Soft light, quiet music. A room built for calm. And yet the air felt like a trap. My phone buzzed once. A message from my daughter. Just 3 words. Please come. No smiley, no apology, no explanation. Just the kind of sentence you send when you know you've already lost. I walked in. 3 lawyers sat at the table, like vultures in suits. One of them looked at me with the confidence of a man who already knew the outcome. The other 2 watched my face like they were waiting for the moment I broke. My ex-wife sat between them. Her posture was perfect. Her smile was practiced. The kind of smile you wear when you've rehearsed every possible reaction. My daughter stood behind her, eyes fixed on the floor. The air tightened. My ex-wife spoke first. Either sign it, or you'll never see your grandson grow up. A power of attorney slid across the table. My name on it. My rights. My access. My life. It wasn't just a document. It was a sentence. I stared at it, slowly, like it was a puzzle I was already solving. Then I did something they didn't expect. I reached into my wallet. I pulled out my phone. I made a call. They all waited. My daughter's face tightened. My ex-wife's smile froze. I said calmly, "Sure, but first, someone wants to say a few words." The room went quiet. Too quiet. The kind of silence that makes people show their true colors. My daughter's eyes lifted. Not at me, at the table. At the lawyers. At the air. I heard my own voice inside my head. She didn't call me for dinner. She called me to be trapped, to be controlled, to be erased. And the worst part? I realized I had let her. I had let her take control of my love, my money, my pride, my son's absence, my daughter's greed. The betrayal wasn't new. It had been building, slowly, quietly, like poison in a glass. But this was the final move. The message had been simple. The dinner had been a lure. The lawyers were the bait. And my daughter? She was the one who had taught me to trust her. That trust was the blade. I watched my ex-wife's face carefully. Every twitch, every tiny shift, every breath that told a story she didn't want to say out loud. She thought I was the one who didn't understand. She thought I was the one who would panic. She was wrong. I wasn't panicking. I was listening. I was waiting. Because I had already started digging. Quietly, carefully. Like a man who knows the truth but refuses to rush it. And now, the truth was close enough to touch. My daughter looked up again, eyes shining. Not with remorse, with fear. She knew. She knew something had changed. She didn't know what, but she would. Soon. I didn't answer her. I didn't look at her. I just kept my eyes on the lawyers. My phone was still in my hand. The call had been connected, and the person on the other end was waiting. I didn't speak. I let the silence do the work. Then I heard it. A voice. Soft, cold, clear. "Hello, sir." My heart didn't race. It didn't even beat faster. That's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't scare you anymore. It just sharpens you. "Do you have the results?" I asked. The lawyer to my left swallowed. His eyes flicked to my ex-wife. Then to my daughter. My daughter's face changed. A flicker. A crack. A sign that she was no longer sure of the world she had built. "Results?" My ex-wife repeated too quickly. I smiled, but it wasn't a smile. It was a blade wrapped in skin. "Yes," I said. "DNA results." The room tightened again. The lawyers shifted in their seats. My ex-wife's jaw clenched. My daughter's breath hitched. I looked down at the power of attorney. Then back up. "You're asking me to sign away my rights," I said, calm. "Based on lies?" My ex-wife's eyes flashed. "Don't speak to me like that," she snapped. Her voice cracked under the pressure. I let her. I let her break. Because she had done that to me for years. She had broken me slowly, one lie at a time. And now, I was going to break her in a single moment. "Call your lawyer," I said, still calm. "Tell him I'm waiting." My daughter's eyes filled with tears. Not real tears. The kind you cry when you realize you've been caught. My ex-wife stood. She reached for the power of attorney like it was a shield. "You don't understand what you're doing," she hissed. "You'll never see him again." I nodded, as if she had said something wise. Then I placed my phone on the table. "Here," I said. "I'll show you." I slid a small envelope across the table. The lawyers leaned in. My ex-wife's hands trembled. My daughter stared like she was watching a storm. I opened the envelope, pulled out the paper, and placed it in front of the lead lawyer. DNA results, certified, clear, the kind of proof that doesn't lie. My ex-wife's face went pale. Not because she was guilty, because she knew the truth had finally reached her. The results didn't say what she wanted them to say. They said what she feared. My grandson was not mine. Not legally, not biologically. And that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the name on the report. A name she had never mentioned. A man she had met months before the wedding. A man she had brought into our lives like a secret. A man who had been my daughter's lover. My daughter's voice cracked. "Dad, I didn't—" But she didn't finish. She didn't need to. The silence said it all. My ex-wife tried to snatch the report away. Her hand shook. I didn't stop her. I watched her take it. Watched her read the truth. Watched her eyes go wide. Watched the moment she realized her control was gone. She looked at me, furious. "You don't understand," she whispered. "You can't do this. You'll ruin everything." I leaned back in my chair. I let the calm settle over me like a mask. "I already ruined it," I said softly. "Years ago." My ex-wife's face twisted. She looked at the lawyers like they were supposed to save her. They didn't, because the truth didn't need saving. It was already alive. My daughter stood behind my ex-wife, trembling. She looked at me like I was the villain, like I was the one who had taken her world away. But I wasn't. I was the one who had finally seen it. I was the one who had finally stopped pretending. I stood slowly. Not angry, not desperate, just finished. "I came here tonight," I said, voice steady. "Because you wanted to trap me." My ex-wife's lips parted. I continued. "You wanted my money, my name, my access, my silence." I looked at my daughter. "You wanted me to pay for a wedding I never approved," I said. "You wanted me to fund a life you built on lies." My daughter's eyes burned with rage. I didn't flinch. "You wanted me to sign away my rights," I said. "And you thought I would do it because you were holding my grandson hostage." My ex-wife stood, her face twisted with fury. But she didn't move. She couldn't. Because she knew the moment had passed. The truth had already been revealed. I picked up my phone. I ended the call. Then I slid the phone back into my wallet. I looked at the lawyers. "I don't sign anything," I said. My ex-wife's eyes narrowed. "You will," she spat. I smiled again. Not with happiness, with cold certainty. "No," I said. "Because now I know the truth." And I knew something else. I knew she had been counting on my love to keep me weak. She had been counting on my guilt, my fear, my need to be a good father. But I wasn't weak anymore. I was free. I walked out of the restaurant. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The silence behind me was loud. The betrayal was exposed. The control was broken. And for the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Power.